Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Pen Test Plus course. In today's lesson, we're discussing the components of a penetration test report, including format alignment, documentation specifications, risk scoring, and the essential sections such as the executive summary, methodology, detailed findings, attack narrative, recommendations, and test limitations and assumptions. Let's start with format alignment, which ensures that the report is tailored to the needs of its audience. For example, executive-level stakeholders typically need a high-level overview of the findings and recommendations, focusing on business impact and risk mitigation strategies. Next, we have documentation specifications, which involve maintaining a professional and consistent structure throughout the report. This includes adhering to any specific guidelines provided by the client or industry standards, using clear language, consistent terminology, and incorporating visual elements such as charts, graphs, and tables helps improve understanding. Risk scoring is another vital component of the report. It allows stakeholders to prioritize vulnerabilities based on their severity, likelihood of exploitation, and potential impact. Many testers use established frameworks like the Common Vulnerability Scoring System or custom scoring methods tailored to the engagement. Now, let's examine the core components of the penetration test report. Executive Summary. This section provides a concise, high-level overview of the engagement. It summarizes the key findings, risks, and recommendations in a way that non-technical stakeholders can understand. For example, an executive summary might highlight the discovery of a critical vulnerability that could lead to data breaches and suggest immediate mitigation steps. Methodology. The methodology section outlines the approach used during the test. It describes the tools, techniques, and frameworks applied, such as OWASP Top 10. Including this information not only builds transparency, but also demonstrates the thoroughness of the engagement. Detailed findings. This section is the most technical and contains an in-depth analysis of each vulnerability. Each finding includes a description of the issue, steps to reproduce it, screenshots or logs as evidence. Attack narrative. The attack narrative explains how the vulnerabilities were exploited during the test. It tells the story of how individual weaknesses were combined to achieve specific objectives, such as unauthorized access or data exfiltration. This narrative provides valuable context and helps stakeholders understand the real-world implications of the vulnerabilities. Recommendations. The recommendations section outlines specific actionable steps to remediate the identified issues. For example, if the test uncovered weak password policies, the recommendation might include implementing stricter password requirements and multi-factor authentication. Finally, it's essential to include test limitations and assumptions. This section highlights any constraints that could have impacted the findings, such as excluded systems, testing in a simulated environment, or limited access to certain resources. Being transparent about these factors ensures that stakeholders have realistic expectations about the report's scope and conclusions. In summary, the penetration test report is a critical deliverable that transforms technical findings into actionable insights for stakeholders. Thank you for joining us today, and see you next time.